Hello, welcome on into another episode of the Digital Quill podcast with your host, Mars Wilson. Today, I actually have a little bit of a script today. That was redundant, as all redundancies could ever potentially be. Sorry. Let me redo that. On today's Watch Wednesday, we aren't watching anything, just to get that out of the way, but we are reviewing something. And I know it's kind of like a punny way of saying, hey, this is another episode where we're going to be talking about movies and film in a kind of sort of like more nuanced way, a niche way, if you will. Recently, over the weekend, I went to go see Weapons, a new movie, which here is the movie poster, if you are curious. It's a new movie, currently out and about right now in theaters, and I got a chance to go visit Harkins. Harkins. I will say this, there are a lot of different ways I want to talk about Weapons, but I don't want to give anything away. I want you to be able to watch it for yourself, so I am going to say this. There were 5 of us. There were 2.5 of us who hated, or who hate everything in the modern day, right? Because let's be honest, are movies really that great anymore? Are they worth seeing, or would you rather just pay your $17.99 a month subscription for Netflix or something? 2.5 of us will love and watch anything. For those of you who aren't aware, I'm the half. I do hate most modern media, but I will give absolutely anything a watch because I am a bit of a movie nerd person. I did take film study in my senior year of high school, and I do have a appreciation for the art and we'll actually get to that in another episode, so you might want to stay tuned for my thoughts on that. Today is all about Weapons and its diverse cast of people. This is its cast. I feel like we've seen some of these faces before. Do you recognize anyone? Now, I'm not really an actor person. To me, actors are just, other people. They don't really hold like a high regard status in my brain. They never have, and they probably never will, especially given recent news and events in the media. I covered one of these stories, but we're not going to go there in case we get a subpoena. Crazy how this works. But yes. And for those who are extra curious, here is the Weapons official trailer, which I can't show here because I don't know how to show videos and other stuff without getting a copyright strike yet. So we're just gonna pretend the trailer is already watched. We're reading the description and ignoring the reviews because yes, we actually enjoyed the movie. We didn't walk out hating it. At least the 2.5 of us who hate it, like, we felt like it was entertaining enough to have seen in theaters. And I feel like it's entertaining enough to have written a review about, because I don't really like doing reviews about things I hate, even unless I, like, really, really hate it, and it's actually probably maybe a waste of everyone's time if you share a very similar opinion, but I don't know that. So I try to stick with things that are good because I like positivity on my platforms. When all but one child from the same classroom mysteriously vanish on the same night at exactly the same time, a community is left questioning who or what is behind their disappearances. Or their disappearance. It's an interesting film. Very, very interesting film. Now, as I said, I don't know much about the actors who played it or actors in general. I don't think I know who the director is who did it. Who was the director? Directed by Zach Kreger? The Scarlet Shear, Carrie Christopher, Jason Turner. Why does that name sound familiar? Any relation to the Turner family at all? But, let's see. Yeah. The 2.5 of us who, usually walk out of movie theaters feeling disappointed that we spent 2.5, 3 hours in a movie theater, I actually walked out enjoying it. Like, it was a film for sure. It was original. That's like kind of like the thing that I took away the most out of it, despite some of like the strangeness to it, which you really do need to go see it. But it's original. Like almost like completely entirely original. I've seen a lot of horror movies in my life. I went through a very big spell of like indie budget horror movies too. This definitely falls in B-rated movies, but like original. Like, it's, if I could summarize my review into one word, it would be original. It's not like award-winning movie of the year, but if you put it up against, say, like another action movie that has the same 15 fight sequence scenes or 25 explosions, then, you know, like, original. Interesting storytelling. We like how it kind of built up, and like it didn't really leave a lot of plot holes or errors, so like it felt complete, it felt original. So complete, original, and storytelling. 3 words for Weapons, the movie I saw in theaters this weekend: complete, original, and storytelling. And if I had to give it a numerical rating out of like 10, with 10 being like I would probably watch this movie again, 7.8. If I caught it on like Tubi or Peacock or something and it was just playing on the live TV channels, I would be like, yeah, sure, whatever, cool, background movie, nice. But like, I don't know if I'd seek it out personally. Like, it'd have to find me. It would have to find me, and I'd have to have like absolutely nothing else I'd want in the background. So yeah, it's not a bad movie. It's a good movie. It's a movie I don't want to give too much info about because it's an experience. Whether you're watching it in theaters or like at home on your own for like a B budget movie night or something like that, like it's an experience. It's an experience for sure. My hair's bugging the heck out of me. Won't stay where I ask it to, so now it's time to go back up. Okay. I hate trying to do buns, but I'm trying to also get better at them because I hate having my hair on my neck, and I need to find a way to shave it without paying too much money. Because I don't need it cut, I just need my neck shaved, damn it. It makes wearing ponytails a lot easier. I learned that trick in security. When I was like always having to have my hair tied back in my uniform, I looked at my neck one day, and this was before I took up a supervisor role, and I was like, I should probably shave that. I shaved it, I looked in the mirror again, and I'm like, well, I had someone else shave it who was doing my hair at the time and doesn't anymore, but I had them shave it, and I looked at the mirror again, and I'm like, yes, clean, not wavy and ticklish. So I need to do it again. It's been fucking 3 years, and it's grown out quite a bit, actually. It's like not enough to put into my ponytail yet, but I hate having hair sometimes. It's nice. It's nice to hide tears, but I hate having it sometimes. Sensory issues for the win, right? Now, on to the next subject for today, which, by the way, first part was half scripted. The next part is just notes. It's me talking about how I might have taken a step into the future, or taken a step towards something I've always wanted to do, and I have more details coming in the future, hopefully. So fingers crossed and stay tuned that I have an interesting story to share about this, because I have waited probably like 7 or 8 years, maybe less, a little bit. Oh no. It is 7 or 8 years. Because I remember the year I started listening. It was around 2018, 2019 when I was doing a lot of night drives with my friends. Ah, memories of my young early adulthood. Goodbye. Just gonna energy drink you away. I have finally submitted a story somewhere that I've always wanted to submit. Well, not the story specifically, but I've always wanted to have like a scary story to submit. And I never really considered the stuff that happened to me growing up as scary. Because therapy, and then like just experiencing it, and then therapy. So it's like, not scary. But then, you know, when you objectively look at it from like probably another person's perspective, you're like, oh yeah, that would probably be terrifying. Oh yeah. And then you kind of were like, oh yeah, that in the moment that was pretty scary, even though that was 20 plus years ago. So I finally submitted a story. We see what happens. I'll let you know more details in the future, and I'll let you know what the story is and what happens with the story. I don't want to tell the story right now until after, potentially, maybe, who knows. Anyway, next subject, because this is supposed to be another short episode. I'm doing shorter episodes this week because I have some ideas for next week, and then leading up to other things, which actually next week is kind of like sort of important in a way. It also ties a little bit into the birthday stream and the Streamlabs rant, which are my 2 notes here, and then I'll pivot back to the first thing I said earlier, and then also talk about this tiny note, and then that is scripted too. Okay, that part, these 4 words are scripted. All right. Interesting note taking. Very, very interesting. I need to refine that. Birthday stream. As I said, I will be doing a live stream for the first time on my birthday. I don't really like my birthday. I'm trying to rectify that. Why? Because there's actually a lot of reasons for that. A lot of people have told me growing up no one should hate their birthday. That still sticks with me. Do I agree? When it comes to my birthday, no, I don't agree. When it comes to everyone else's, yes, no one should hate their birthday. Does that make me jaded? That probably makes me jaded, at least toward myself, which is fine. I am my own worst enemy. But, I'm trying to enjoy it a little bit by doing what I want to do and what I want to enjoy, and I know other people like helping people with that, if you feel inclined. There's a lot of ways to do so in my Linktree. Choose the free options first. For the love of God, please. Because I feel weird when people do monetary things for me. I've always been working on that on my time on the internet in the various projects I do, because I feel like I need to give more than I should somehow, and like when it's a monetary exchange, I'm just like, okay, here's my soul and my social security number and my blood type and my family heritage and also everything else. Is there anything else you need? Thank you for the monetary gift, and also amen. It feels like that. That's how it feels when people help me. I'm still working on that. That's probably going to be a permanent work in progress. I have news for you. I'm sorry. I have news for me. I'm sorry. But Linktree. That is all the details I want to give and feel comfortable giving. Streamlabs rant. Streamlabs rant. What the hell are subscription services and why do we need them? I remember buying programs outright and being able to use the whole freaking thing. And then people would break the programs and stuff, and then just wait for the new program to come out and then hack that. But hey, what happened to owning things, man? Like, I have to lease my phone, and I've been getting so many notifications. Not lease my phone. I mean, I make payments on it, and those are, like, almost over with. But, like, I get so many notifications, especially now that the payments are almost over with. Hey, trade in your phone, no credit for blah, blah, blah. Hey, keep your phone, keep your phone and get a new one and start a new plan. And I'm like, okay, I like the idea of keeping it, but I don't like the idea that you're making me buy a certain phone in order to keep my phone. What happened to owning things, man? Streamlabs. I mean, your subscription seems reasonable for what you get, but $27 a month or something like that? Most creators in the beginning are making nothing and are barely affording their bills with the job that they do have during the day. It's me, I'm some creators, and I also know other creators who are like that. Streamlabs. Your free service is a joke. It's like a trial version. I was looking at what it offered, and I'm like, so a trial version, but all the time, for free. Watermark included, huh? You really like your advertising, don't you? Remember when stuff was, like, you know, more open source or, like, ownable? Not anymore. Not anymore. Which is why I want to emphasize we creators need to be creating programs that help each other out. Community. Let's figure out how to do that somehow. I am not a programmer or a game designer. I know how to talk until my face is blue. I know how to write stories and other stuff. My skills aren't very large and wide. I've tried to add to them, but I have to admit my skills aren't far and wide. I tried a lot of different things, but then I realized that I have skills in certain areas and I need to work on those. That was around when I was 22. And I was like, okay, need to spend the rest of my 20s figuring out how to hone the things that I know how to do and can get better at. Because that's like part of figuring out what you want to do with your life, right? I mean, I had a pretty good idea growing up, but that doesn't mean I knew how to execute those plans. Hey, I want to be a writer. I want to be a public speaker. I want to be a photographer. How the heck do I get to those things? Well, in the modern age, those are very difficult to achieve unless you do things like this. And also have a day job that makes you want to tear your hair out because it barely pays your bills, but some of your online affirmation things, or not affirmation things, but some of your online attributes or things that you hate doing do make you more money, and it eats away at your soul slowly by slowly. Sorry, I'm side tangenting and ranting about things that just don't make sense to me because we live in a world fueled by money and it's absolute freaking bonkers to me. What happened to the people? What happened to owning property? What happened to freedom and free will? And we're not freaking free until every single one of us is. So, ranting, sorry, thinking about streaming services and like different plugins and how to do things on a tight budget and how it affects other creators and how we all just are under the thumb of people that are somehow more powerful than us and remain more powerful than us. And it's not even like by accident, it's by choice. Instead of prosperity and humanity on any level, people choose to stay in such power that it creates problems like what we're seeing in various things today. Kind of a broad statement, but think about that for a minute before you jump in the comments and scream at me with your pitchforks. Or scream at me with your pitchforks. I might kind of enjoy it. I do have a lot of popcorn I need to eat, and it would give me something. Both are fine. Both are good. Autonomy. Do it. Do the thing. As I said earlier, next episode will be about movies. And about my thoughts about movies. In a different way from weapons today. I have an idea that I've been thinking about. This has actually been a notebook I've been using all week for notes and stuff. Just Amazon's Amazon Basics that I got from a job one time that I haven't used, and I'm like, okay, let me just take notes this week, I guess. It has been actually kind of interesting. I uncovered some mysteries with my notes, or started some. I even did some other stuff, but we'll get to that later. We'll get to all of that later. Starting with not birthday. That was the next word I saw. Starting with the next episode being about movies. Before we get to that episode, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. This is a bait for engagement. Hook, line, and sinker? I don't know. Hook, line, trying to figure out how to like sign it, but I don't have anything. I don't have any contemporary speaking with body part movement instead of word for that. Is that a phrase or an idiom or a I don't know. I have a dictionary around here for parts of speech. I should reread that. But yeah, tell me your thoughts below in the comments with this bait for engagement. What your thoughts about different films are. Are you like a film buff? Would you watch only certain films if they were actually films, or do you watch anything, movies and all? How important is the cinema to you? Do you like movie theaters for the experience, or is it about movies themselves? Movies, just anything that comes to mind. Give me your biggest paragraphs possible, or shortest ones possible. Just tell me your thoughts. Tell me all of them. Send me your books in thought form and text form. I don't mind. I do read them at some point, and I do respond to them at some point-ish, maybe, if I don't forget and feel terrible and then hide in my corner feeling terrible that I forgot, and then further isolating myself from speaking about it or speaking at all because I've realized that like months or years have gone by, and we'll see. Just comment below. I live in comment sections and also emails. To the DMs, not so much. I have weird communication habits I'm working on. I promise. I promise. It is a work in progress. Come back in like episode 257 and we'll talk about it. And with that being said, I actually want to show you something. If you've been here a while, you know my T.I.M.E thing. The teach, inspire, motivate, entertain, with an emphasis on entertaining. But then there's also the travel, investigate, meet, make, entertain, or not entertain, explore, experience. Wait. Meet, make, explore, and experience. Yeah, I was right. Wow. Do you see how often I second guess myself? Why do I do that? And I should really stop that. Am I going to stop that? Or is that going to be something that is a permanent defect inside of myself where I second guess myself, which is actually a strength instead of a weakness? Anyway, today's episode, I was hoping to lean into the idea of inspiration and entertainment, because when I scripted the on today's Watch Wednesday, I was like, all right, you're going to go in and you're going to have an interesting, funny intro, and then you're going to do the Watch Wednesday thing. All right. You're going to be like, and welcome to today's Watch Wednesday, where you don the character of radio announcement host or some fucking shit. I am at 24 minutes, so I can swear now. Thank God. Language is a little more colorful when you can swear. I learned that early on as a writer when I was trying to not swear growing up, and then it ended up becoming a part of slang that I ended up adapting because our first word in like 3rd or 4th grade class was crap. And that became part of our slang, and then it kind of escalated from there. And honestly, I mean, If you can know when to keep the decorum, like the professionalism, the mannerisms, the manner, then go ahead and swear like a sailor if in the appropriate settings. You don't want to do that in a business meeting when you're discussing finances. You don't want to be like, fuck this and fuck that and screw them and over there, damn that. And no, you don't want to do that. But like when you're telling a story, colorful language, beautiful words, that is what language is for. It is expression, announcement, voice. And honestly, with learning how to both have a voice and not have a voice, if someone's going to tell you not to swear, maybe assess the situation. Are you in a professional setting? Yes? Okay, dial it back. Work on that. Are you in a not professional setting and they're just being a negative Nancy? The bird's the word. The bird's the word. The bird's the word. Let's see. But yeah, I was hoping to lean into the inspiration and entertainment portion. And by inspiration, I kind of wanted to inspire the idea that life isn't always serious. I tend to make it very serious. And actually, in a funny conversation earlier with a friend of mine, I was asking some really deep, dark questions, and they were like, do you just always live in a constant state of existential, like, crisis? And I'm like, no, it's more like existential excitement, because it keeps things interesting and flowery and explosive. And they were just like, they didn't have anything they could say after that, because, well, it's not always a crisis. You know, the sky isn't always falling. Always. But, you know, it's exciting sometimes to ask some of these questions, because it's like, well, I didn't really think of it that way, and now I'm thinking of it that way, and that might have changed the entire frame of thought, and now I have to think about how that changes the frame of thought over here, and now I am in a spiral again. Not actually, but like, spirals can be fun. You know, entertainment. But like, yeah, life isn't always serious. And hopefully we can like find our peace and our comfort and our light and our prosperity and our growth together. So, with that being said, humans of Earth, we have reached 27 minutes of this episode. Time is a strange concept, and I have a lot of other things I need to go do. Plus plan for future episodes and not plan for my future demise. But thank you for joining me today. Thank you for letting me share my time with you. Thank you for giving me your time. I hope you have a great day today. Remember to drink water. Remember to breathe. Remember to stretch a little bit. And I will see you next time for movies with the Digital Quill Media and the Digital Quill Podcast. Check out other episodes with my guests. I will leave one of my favorites down in the comments below. They're all my favorites, by the way, spoiler alert, so I'm just going to leave one, and then probably another in the next episode, because that might be a trend I start doing from now on, because these people are interesting people to me. Keep going, humans of Earth. Do not stop. I think we can actually get through this shit together. Bye. I would like to stop recording. Yes, thank you, OBS. Bye.